Every own sexual fantasy comes true tonight. Forgot technicalities. What does the world look like tomorrow? Some people are going to be walking funny for a couple days. Some won't be walking at all. Don't judge my amputation fetish. Have you ever been on DeviantArt? This reality is over. Birthing back and forth. Forever. This reminds me of the projectile childbirth card. Well, time for a longer quarantine, everyone. I feel like a long quarantine is what led to this question. A lot less eye contact. Or a lot more. F-duck. Contact my eyes harder. Based on hentai. Probably lots of mythical yet sexual creatures. Interspecies reviewers in real life. God, what a world that would be. Well, I'm waking up in the morning. Suddenly a 300 pounds bodybuilder with a naked chick lying on top of me. Out of 158 responses so far, you are the only one besides me who fantasizes about self-improvement. Well, yeah, I'm very antisocial and self-conscious. So if I were suddenly fit and strong, it would give me the confidence boost necessary to go out to clubs and find a date. Or at least a one-night stand. Some people have illegal sexual fantasies, so cops might have to put in a few extra hours once they figure out how to uncuff themselves from the bedposts. I have a feeling most people in a uniformed profession will end up otherwise occupied. Duck the police. Probably a lot of people filing for divorce, a lot of people taking Plan B, and a lot of people getting tested for STDs. Welcome to the world of herpes pandemic. Everywhere is SX now. Furries, dragons, cat girls, snake ladies, giants, eldritch abominations, lizard people etc. are now all real, I guess. What about the lusty Argonian maid? Is that real? Fun fact, when you first open the lusty Argonian maid, it skips right to the good part, implying that your character has read it before they went to Skyrim. Millions of copies of many celebrities. I love you. I'll always remember you. Fry. Honestly, probably way more people than expected coming out of cemeteries. Actually, a lot more people coming into cemeteries. I also choose this guy's dead wife. God. I mean, it's really likely that at least one person's fantasy is to have sex during the apocalypse. But what if my fantasy is to save the world by having sex? What if my fantasy is that there are no fantasies? Probably covered in tentacles like Futurama, the beast with a billion backs. You mean genticles, right? r/consenticles. Sticky edit. Thank you so much for these prestigious awards. Yup, incredibly sticky. This also serves dual purpose for all the people with the fantasy of cleaning up. Lots and lots of semen and shit, and pus drenching the planet. And that's the good news. That's good. We can inject all that semen into ourselves to kill the coronavirus. There's gonna be one person who fancies Cthulhu and Thief just destroyed humanity. Probably more than one. If the world is not destroyed by mythical beasts or giant penises or giant breasts, the sewer systems will fail due to all the flushed condoms or other evidence, leading to further chaos. Oh god, I forgot about all the giant city-sized titties. Based on what's on Pornhub, there will be a whole lot of awkward family discussions. What are you doing? Step bro? #SHHH mom will hear us, mom already watching from the closet. Shame and regret. Death by Snuso. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. The universe would be destroyed because there are people who have sexual fantasies about growing their penis so big that they break space-time. I'm not joking. There are people who write in graphic detail stories about their penises growing bigger than buildings, mountains, planets, stars, solar systems, galaxies, universes, and beyond. Edit. Wow. I think this is now my highest rated comment. I did not expect that. Yo. What the duck? In song. Link. YouTube. com/watch V=XUW4U0H7B. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling. 40 years of darkness. Earthquakes. Volcanoes. The dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Well, there got to be at least one guy who jacks off to an idea of nuclear war. So I guess there will be no tomorrow. Yes, using his erection with a giant cheeseburger on the end of it. Tentacles everywhere. 147 necrophiliacs and 7,000,000 dead assholes. Are the assholes dead? Or are the asshole people dead? Yes. In that order. The streets spill over white, red, and brown. Ah yes. America colors. Miraca, duck yeah. Everyone walks around in shame for the first 2 days, and then the horniness will come back and everyone will be itching to experience their fantasy again. The Craigslist ads would be unreadable. Haha, 2 days? You underestimate me. A lot more furries than you think. Especially thanks to Beasters. Also known as the I'm Not a Furry But the Show. Yup. Still wrestling with my reaction to some of those Haru scenes. Oh god. You do not know what hell you have wrought on this world. You have destroyed the very fabric of civilization. Sure. You have the vanilla shit. The step family kink. You'll see some people tied up. Getting flogged. Screams of pain mixed with pleasuring through the air. Except no. Because we have every own's fantasies. Everyone. Every nook and cranny of human sexuality and kink is explored. And the results are catastrophic. Giant tentacle monsters roam the streets, looking for people to violate with their countless phallus-shaped arms. Anthropomorphic animals are everywhere, hungry for lustful activities. Half human, half monster hybrids take victims by force and subject them to endless intercourse. And this is just the beginning of the depravity. Giants roam the land, swallowing humans and animals alike with every hole you can possibly imagine. And some you can't. The very earth grows penises to fornicate forcefully with every living thing. Every horror you can imagine comes to life as Rule 34's entire database comes to life. Humanity is extinct. Some duck to death. Others the victim of execution fetishists. Even more still suffer fates so indescribably horrible that even thinking about it makes your brain explode. On the plus side, we get cat girls. Edit. This is the post that explodes. Huh, you sick ducks. Yay. Cat girls. My mind instantly went to some poor schmo being pumped up and down on the end of a giant squid's tentacle giving the thumbs up and saying this. I for one welcome our new asexual overlords. But they wouldn't be immune to other people's fetishes, would they? If anything, they'd be outright powerless. Good question. Yeah, probably a lot of victims of extreme violence. Willing victims. If we assume that each person gets exactly what they want. How would each person get exactly what they want? If I want to tie up Emma Stone and she doesn't want to be in the same building as me, how would that work? Does it just create a world-ending paradox? Scarlett Johansson would have a lot of STDs. Every even somewhat sexy celebrity would have a lot of sex and STDs in a very short period of time. Poor Danny DeVito. My sexual fantasy is that endless money comes out of my vagina and everyone leaves me alone. So yeah, girl is living bougie. Please watch out for paper cuts. Now, she uses Interaki transfer. Ops mom is really ducking sore. I can validate this. I get to feel the loving embrace of a human being. Upvote if you like burgers. Or desperately crave a woman's touch. Imagine the apocalypse, but it's full of seamen. Breaking news this morning as thousands of animal people known as furries have sprung up across the Western world. Probably tens or hundreds of thousands. At least one guy would empty the Wonder Bread aisle. Good damn it. They were finally able to restock. Well, first of all I'd get to hold hands with my crush. You ducking monster. That's enough internet for today. Very sore. I think a lot of people would commit suicide or get really depressed. The rape victims or the shame, both. People will actually follow quarantine for at least a day. Poor Emma Watson. For me, oddly, it was Evanna Lynch that I used to fancy. There was something about that Luna Lovegood girl that 14 years old me found magical. Same boat. Hell on earth. The Cincinnati Zoo would be deprived of its gorilla population. Fur is everywhere. A blanket of cigarette smoke. And a scattering of people who like being used as ashtrays. You're welcome for dragons. Edit. Why is this my most upvoted comment? I don't think dragon dickings are covered by my car insurance. Eye contact will disappear quicker than the handshake. Cities are destroyed by a giant falco ducking buildings. Local MILFs actually do want my cock. Good news. Aerith lives. If you can call it living. Oh. Boy, you guys are in for a rough time. The year is 2030. I'm the last human on Earth. 10 years ago, on the night of April 26th, 2020, every own sexual fantasies came true. What sounds like a pretty funny and awkward scenario was apocalyptic. Tentacle monsters, human animal hybrids, eldritch gods, anything remotely sexual just became. And humanity was all but extinguished. I was spared, only because I had no fantasy. I had no way to die. I'm now part of a small settlement as its only human resident. Most of the people living here are cat girls, copies of Brad Pitt and some of the less violent furries. Every day we fight to survive, to find food, water, medicine, avoiding the abominations that roam the wasteland and gangs of Kardashians, Instagram influencers and pornsters. Maybe, one day, humanity might return. Maybe this whole thing is a dream. But if I know one thing, it's that human desire never changes. Pornhub just shut down. YouTube is again on top. Normal people still roam the earth, but only the ones who had been fantasized about. Non-horny people that were fantasized about but not forced into some weird dream would have to carry the weight of society. Plumbers, mechanics, doctors would regularly get stopped for favors. Students would line up to bribe their attractive teachers. Football teams is the new currency. Dungeons everywhere. Copies of every celebrity in various shapes and forms. No one would never run out of steam. Nothing would never get monotonous. The train just keeps coming. Creatures and tentacle aliens invade the earth. Heroes across the earth would be saving the world day in and day out. Dicks everywhere as big as the Eiffel Tower, so they can duck the world for 72 hours. I feel like there will be a lot of odd consent situations. What with the prevalence of blackmail porn? Anal everywhere. I'm very worried about your fantasy considering your username. I don't wanna talk about it. I'd imagine whatever a sticky theater floor would look like with the lights up. Lots of people in the morning doing the walk of shame. r/dragons duckinkers. Why are there so many people? Slanesh manifests physical form. So many more lesbians. I'm seeing an anime civil rights movement approaching. Lots of broken homes. Fired teachers. Sex offenders and political scandals. Lol. We are a sex-starved world. I can post anything, and it takes days to get responses. I post anything to do with sexual fantasies, and get 20 comments in 15 minutes. This is where society went wrong. We just don't get laid enough. Welcome to Reddit lol. Ashley Madison scandal. Well, those duckers who willingly cheat deserve to have their marriage ended. But forcing someone into cheating on their spouse? Gonna be hard to explain the sudden fictional characters roaming the streets. And there will probably be some weirdo who's trying to do nasty things to Godzilla or something. So, the world would collapse instantly. Worst case, double the COVID patients in 14 days. Tired of hearing of COVID? Me too. As a young woman, this terrifies me. I know at least 2 guys who have sexual fantasies about me, and I so don't want to be involved. Is it every sexual fantasy, or just like one per customer? Cause like, they probably ain't picking you over ScarJo. Please don't kill me. This might be a fair point, but then it feel bad for female celebrities. I think the world will be much the same, just the population will all look vaguely ashamed. We will avoid eye contact with one another. Daycare center. The next day. Forget technicalities. Cream-filled donut. Because of that one guy thinking it would be fun to literally duck the planet, he was dumb enough to not use protection and has AIDS. But I guess, since he had to be off planet, is space AIDS. Lol, space AIDS. Tomorrow, for the first time, I wake up next to my girlfriend who I've been secretly seeing throughout quarantine. Close friends through high school. And in light of the pandemic, the stars finally aligned, and we are together. This is real. The fantasy is actually spending the night with her instead of just talking about how much we want to. This is so sweet and wholesome. I definitely feel the same about myself. The male to female ratio becomes lopsided overnight with way more females than males. Yeah, exactly. Because of all the men getting turned into women. It appears that abortion clinics have started taking reservations as of late. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.